So in this video, we're going to walk you through setting up conversion tracking for your Blvd4 website. So the first thing you're going to want to have to do is set up your analytics account through Google, and we'll walk you through then setting up Tag Manager in this video and getting it installed on your site, as well as all the tags and settings you'll need to do within Tag Manager to send conversion events to Google Analytics or any other platform for that matter. So we've already done a lot to get you started, and the setup is pretty simple from the website end of things. So the first thing I'm going to do is want to make sure the analytics is installed. So I have this demo analytics account that we'll use here in a minute, and then I've logged into Google Tag Manager already. So from within Tag Manager, you need to create an account if you don't already have one. So I'll do that. It doesn't really matter what this is called. I'm going to call it a dummy or demo account, and I'm going to click continue. And then again, now you're going to need to set up a container. It doesn't really matter what this is called, but typically it's the name of the website. So I'm just going to use the name of my local test site. And then this is a web container. So that's where we're going to use it, and click create. And then here you'll just have to go through the terms and conditions and accept those from Google. And then your container is set up. Now it gives you this installation script. You don't have to do anything here because we've already gone ahead and done all of the scripting within the website for you. So what you'll need to do is grab the ID of the Tag Manager account, which is right here. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to close this window. That ID is also right here in the browser window when I'm looking at Tag Manager. And then I'm going to go to the back end of my website. So if you log into the admin dashboard and you go under Appearance and Theme Options, you'll have a site tracking option here in the sidebar. There's some instructions here already, basically kind of what I'm going through, but this video covers things more in depth. So you're going to go to Global Tracking underneath that and make sure that you've chosen Google Tag Manager from the list of options, and then you'll just paste that ID into the Tag Manager ID field and click Save. And that's pretty much it. The Tag Manager is set up on the website. Now we're going to do everything else within Tag Manager itself. So if I come back here, there's a lot of options here, and I'll walk you through the basic setup. So first we're going to click Preview. That puts us into a test mode so that we can preview any changes that we're doing before we publish them in terms of the tags and scripts that we can launch from Tag Manager. So now that we're in preview mode and we've installed this script on our site, we're going to come back to the site and just double check that Tag Manager is loaded. And if it is, then you should see this little bar at the bottom of the screen that shows you Google Tag Manager, and that there are no tags in the container, so nothing's fired on this page in terms of the Google tags from Tag Manager. Now you're the only one who will see this window down here because you're logged into Tag Manager and you're in preview mode. No one else will see that. Okay, so the first thing we need to do now is start adding in some tags. So first tag we're going to do is a tag for Google Analytics. So we're going to say Google Analytics page view. It doesn't matter what we call it up there, just anything that you can identify it with. We're going to click here for the tag configuration, and we're going to choose Google Analytics, which is the first option. We're going to keep track type to page view, and then we're going to select a settings variable. So if I choose, there's no options in here yet, I'm going to have to create a new variable. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to name my variable, so Google Analytics ID, and I'm going to click on this, and it's giving me some options. So the tracking ID I will get from within Google Analytics. So I copy this, and we put this into the tracking ID, and then I click Save. And now you'll see that the Google Analytics ID variable that we just created is being used for Google Analytics to be loaded on the page. The next step for this tag that I'm going to need to do is set up the trigger. So I set up, I click on triggering and I choose all pages because I want Google Analytics to just load all the time no matter what. So now my trigger is set, my tag configuration is done, and I can click save. Okay, so I have 2 changes. I created my tag for Google Analytics page views, and I created a variable for my Google Analytics ID. So I'm going to refresh that, go back to the main site and press refresh, and now we can see that Google Analytics is installed and firing. So that's going to start tracking all the page views on this site. And I could even go into Analytics and come in here and go to real time and see that I have 1 active user on the site at the moment, and that's me on this page. Okay, so we know everything's working. The next thing I'm going to do is set up another tag, this time for conversion events. So we're going to say Google Analytics conversion event. Again, you can call this whatever you want. So we're going to choose our tag configuration, and again we're going to choose Google Analytics, but this time instead of page view tracking type, we're going to choose event, and we're going to set up the category, the action, and the label. And so now for the category, we're going to create a new variable. So we're going to choose a variable, but then create a new one with the little plus sign. And we'll just call this category. Doesn't really matter too much. And we're going to choose a data layer variable. And here the name is important because this is some of the data that we're sending over automatically from within Riddick's, the Blvd4 websites and such. So this is event underscore category. Then we'll click save. And now we'll set up, we'll do label next since that's very similar. We'll click plus. This is going to be label. And for the configuration, again, data layer variable, and that variable name is event underscore label. And both of these event underscore category and event underscore label, it's very important that you write those precisely so that they come over exactly how we have them set up already. So I'll save that. And then finally, this action, we're going to create a new variable. And this is going to be called registration. And then this is a custom event. Okay, and then down here, we're going to choose the Google Analytics settings, and we're going to choose the Google Analytics ID that we've already created previously. Okay, so again, you set up the category variable to match with the data layer so again, you set up the category variable that will match the data layer event category, as well as the label variable that will match the data layer label that's coming over from the registration event that gets sent over from the website. And then we set up the action as the custom a variable that matches the custom registration event. Okay, and then for triggering, we're going to create a new trigger, and this one's going to be called registration event trigger, and we're going to choose custom event, and the event name is registration. Again, this name, similar to the data layer variables, is very important that it matches with what we're already passing over, so that as those events come in, from users registering on your site. You can catch them in Tag Manager and route them how you need to. So we'll click Save. And save. And now we'll refresh this. And if we look under tags, we have two. We have the Google Analytics page view tag, and we have the Google Analytics registration event tags. So let's come back to the site. Let's refresh the page. And we can see that we have Google Analytics page view has fired, but the conversion event tag has not. So in order to test this, we can try and log into the site. So if we click on favorites, it asks us to sign in. We could go in and register to create an account if we wanted to, but I'm going to use Google Plus and sign in with my Google account. And there we can see that the conversion event tag has been triggered since I've logged in and created an account for the first time, and that should have sent data up to Google Analytics, and we see the event action of registration has happened, and then here's our event category. Now this event category will come directly from whatever you choose from theme options under event tracking. So right now event category is just set at event_cat on my demo site here, but if I change that to something else, then that is what's going to show up under the event category for Google Analytics. Different platforms can use the event categories differently. Google Analytics just allows you to see the different categories, so you can customize that however you'd like. You don't even need to use it. If you leave it blank, then it just won't get assigned an event category. You'll just get the action. Okay, hopefully that helped you sort out things with Google, setting up Google Tag Manager for your Blvd4 theme. If you have any other questions or need any assistance with setting any of this up, please contact us at support@homejunction.com, or you can visit for more instructions on this docs.homejunction.com. Thanks for watching.